Good morning. At least this morning here. So today I'm going to talk about root pruning. So I got a few plants that I recently purchased. So what I do when I get plants from the grower, I'm going to remove their growing medium and then replace it with my growing medium. So these are Raffianacnes. Got 6 of them. So there's one there. Take the label out. This one rotted at some point. You can see there, got some rotted tissue in there, but yeah, it recovered, healed itself, and continues to grow. It'll make an interesting Caudex in time. You can see that character there, where this one is just a big knob. So I'm going to remove the rest of these. There's a different shape. So each one of these are a little different shape there. Oh, here comes the garbage man. And there's another one. Another one there. All right, there he goes. I forgot the garbage guy comes on Monday. Yeah, see, this one rotted at one time also. Down out of there. Yeah, nice little Caudexes there. And then I have one Euphorbia. So we'll do that one as well. This is Euphorbia squarosa. I'll keep those pots for later, because I'll repot those. That. So you can see there's that one. Oh, this would be a good one. So one thing about these roots, or roots in general, they want to go down. So they go down, and then you can see it's flat here where it hit the bottom of the pot, and then the roots will kind of spiral around at the bottom of the pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off. So it will encourage the caudex or tubers here to get fatter, and then it won't spiral around at the bottom of the pot. All right, so let's move this out of the way. All right, so we'll start with the Euphorbia. So we got that like that. Let me get a little closer, you can see. And so I'm going to leave these feeders here on the side, and I'm going to cut off like that. Move that out of the way. Cut that off, and now this will dry. I'll let this dry a week. Let this callus off for a week. So my general rule of thumb is for every inch of diameter, I let the cut dry 1 week. So we'll set that there. And then we'll look at these Raffianacmes. Same thing. See how they're flat from the bottom of the pot here. So I'm just going to cut the ends of these tap roots like that. And just leave the bulk of that mass here. And then these will callus over and then continue growing. And then I won't do anything with the top growth right now. The same thing. See how it's flat from the bottom of the pot? I'm going to cut those off like that. Let that air dry for a week. So you can do this on bigger plants too. It's just easier. It's less drastic on smaller specimens. But I've done it on older plants as well. You can see the fresh cuts there. So then this will encourage this area to get fatter, and then the feeder roots will keep supplying that with nutrients. Same thing here. I'm going to just cut off these like that. Like that. And we got a couple more. The same thing, flat at the bottom. So I'm just going to cut that and cut that. Like that. And last one. Let's see. We'll cut this one about there. Like that. Clean off all this old rotted tissue there. That's going to make an interesting Caudex one day. All right, so no, that's done. Here's one that I did. This is Phocia edulis that I grew. This is from seed I grew, and it's about 5 years old. And so this one hasn't been root pruned yet. Where'd my scissors go? Oh, there. So this is a Phocia. It's the same thing. See how that's going down, and then it's hitting the bottom of the pot, and it's going to start to spiral around. So before it gets a chance to do that, I'm going to cut it off like that. I'm going to leave all this extra feeders, leave that, and then it will continue to grow after it calluses off for a week. So we got that one. Save that pot for later. Here's some Pachypodium. This is a Pachypodium I did, I think, 3 years ago. I root pruned it 3 years ago. So let's see what this one looks like. So my substrate is 80% pumice and then 20% decomposed granite. Dusty. You can see there, that's where I cut it last time. So I'm going to cut that one more time. I'm going to leave this one on the side alone. I'm just going to cut that taproot there that's reformed. Let's see, I'm just going to cut that off like that. And we'll let the same thing, let that air dry. So I've cut that part that was starting to spiral around at the bottom here. So I cut that off. All right, let's see what else. Here's another one. Another one, Pachypodium, that I root pruned a while back. Oh, this one's nice and fat. This one is much fatter than it was. And so you can see I cut it once, and you could see here's where I cut it last time. You can't see. That's where I cut it last time. So all those new roots have emerged from that last cut 3 years ago. So the part that is flat and spiraling, I'm going to cut that off. And leave everything else. And then this will continue to get fatter instead of growing downward like a carrot. So that's that. I got one last one, a couple more. So here's a young Pachypodium I did last week. You can see I cut off the taproot there. I'm going to repot that today. Here's another Raffianacme I did last week. You can see I cut that off as well. So I'll repot those later. And then this is a big Phocaea that I've cut off. I root prune this about every 2 years. So what I do is I put, the pot is deeper than the plant, and I put a disc. This is an old lid to a plastic pot. I put that in there, and I put the plant on top of it. I put this on top of the disc, and it keeps the roots from growing downward. Just like if it was in habitat, it would be on top of a hard pan or a rock or something growing, and then it would just keep getting wider. So this is about, and you can see that it's flat on the bottom. It's just flat. So I've cut this numerous times, so I don't even have to cut this again. There's no more tap roots forming on the bottom there. So it's flat. So if I had a pot here, which I don't, if I had a pot, I could put this in a pot and stage it up, clean up the vines, and let it grow that way, and then have it ready for the show in a year or two. But yeah, this is about 12 years old. Yeah, like that. So I will put this back in the pot on top of that disc, like that, and let it just keep growing. And eventually I'll make a pot for it. All right, so that's it for root pruning. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And if you like this, share it with your friends. All right. Thanks for watching.